Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 10th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice boneless New York strips for $8.99 each. Duroc whole bone-in pork butt, $2.99 per pound. Colorado peaches, $1.99 per pound. And Busch Light 30 racks, $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and it will be breezy. An afternoon high around 86. Tonight, chance of showers and storms below around 68. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny with a light breeze and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Tune in every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. for the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. It's the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a fun way to give back? Join us for the 2025 Kicks for Kids Nebraska Fun Run Walk, presented by Pinnacle Bank, on Saturday, August 23rd at James Arthur Vineyard. Enjoy a scenic 5K through beautiful grounds. Every step helps provide shoes to kids in Lincoln and Lancaster County schools, with options for adults, wine included, and kids. Registration fees include a t-shirt, medal, and bag. Sign up today and make a difference at kicksforkidsnebraska.org.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert, driving left side, his border, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostreiter. Watch out! Lafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, welcome to this wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to say it Wednesday, Bach. I don't know what I'm thinking. This terrific Tuesday, folks. It is beautiful down here at 1040 O Street. Come in and grab yourself some coffee, hot coffee, cold coffee, pastries. Have a meeting, read a book, or just come look at Bach's beard. The beauty. I mean, I don't know what it is between you and One Lane, man. You and Swim. You both got just like okay, Bach, let me ask you this. If you shaved your beard off today, like completely, bald as my head, how long would it take you to get it back to like what it is right now?
It might take a while. Maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah. You know how long I've been growing this little thing I got right here? I have not shaved it in over a month and a half.
Really?
And that's all I got.
Wow.
That's all I got, man. I got the salt and pepper action coming, but there's the salt's coming in a little bit. And I've just gotten bored, so I might end up shaving it off in the hotel tonight. I have no idea, but I wish mine could get thick like yours like that, man.
Yeah, this is still from when I took my vacation. I just didn't really bring a razor, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it grow out and then see if I can keep it that way. And I've done all right with it so far.
Came back looking like a nomad.
That's right.
Folks, we got Bach running the ones and twos on the mic, as you know, Nick, as we speak. AKA Swim, AKA One Lane, is on his way to Canada. I don't know the rest of the words there, Matt.
Canada?
Is it like Canada, something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. So
something about maple leaves and something I can't.
Some hockey. Yeah,
hockey.
Hey, but speaking of Canada, okay, and Bach, you were a big basketball fan. So this past weekend, I was dozing on and off Sunday. But I was watching the Dream Team, not the Dream Team, but the one about the 2024 in Paris, that documentary on Netflix, I believe. Have you seen that one?
I have not seen it.
I need to watch it again because I kept falling asleep. But that Canadian team was one heck of a team with SGA and all the rest of those ballers they had on there. My man, Jamal Murray, of course, from Canada. And it was really, I need to watch it again. But, dude, the rest of the world has definitely caught wind. They are right on the heels of USA basketball. In fact, beat them a few times as far as that goes in Paralympics. So it ain't on the sleeves. No, they're right there with them. Because you look at the NBA, and this is being your space, it is so littered with international players, man. You look, I mean, we can go on and on the number of players that are international.
Yeah. It's for most countries, obviously still fielding a team, but a lot of these different countries obviously have a star or a couple NBA players that they can throw in there. And I'm excited about it. I like to see that, for a while, different teams like Spain kind of can get a run if you get the right generation of player in there. And like you said, now Canada's probably got a pretty good future outlook with SGA in there. Again, provided they can get a little bit more depth.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that, man. I would highly recommend you watch it. If you haven't, and here I'm recommending to watch it. I don't know if it was on Netflix, Apple. There's so many different, apps and things of that nature. We were speaking about that yesterday, but it is definitely worth the watch and just seeing how the rest of the world has caught up as far as that goes. Because remember back in the day, we were behind only because other teams were playing their pro players, were playing their pro players, and we were not doing that. And then I watched the Dream. That one I did watch again, the original Dream Team again. But do you ever think you'll see that type of talent assembled again, where they all basically, for the exception of, I think, obviously, the Duke guy can't stand. Well, I can't say I can't stand. Nobody can stand. Yeah, Leitner. Yeah. Most of all those guys would be Hall of Famers. Do you think you'll see that again in that type of unselfish play?
It's hard to imagine, unless, I guess maybe if it does come to the fact that the USA needs, all the best players from the country to kind of put on their Superman cape and come rescue them, because it almost seems, there's always a few guys that seem too cool for doing it or whatever it might be.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And some guys play like, I always think about LeBron just going from all those long playoff runs and then going right into USA basketball all the time. It's just like, man, well, at some point you might need a break.
I'm going to say this about LeBron, man. He posted a video of him and his son golfing, and whether he hit the shot that close, I don't know. I could care less. But the people on there, well, I bet you his best shot is the flop shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. But he ain't the only one flopping in the league,
quite a bit. He's probably the biggest guy flopping. But, to me, I am still crazy impressed with LeBron, his longevity, how long he stayed. There's some other things kind of like, yeah, whatever. But at the same time, it's not a LeBron problem. It's a league problem as far as that goes, as far as the flopping and things of that nature. But to play, he's what, 40, how old right now?
Yeah, I think he's 40, isn't he?
I know he's at least 40 years old right now. And for him to stay as long as he stayed in the league, healthy, dominant, etc. I mean, I just think it's ridiculously impressive, regardless if you like the guy or not. To be in the league that long is something special. And to play, I'm not sure how many Olympic teams he's played on, but he's played on a few of them for sure.
Yeah, and he is 40 years old, and that's why I heard somebody else, the other day saying he just needs to retire. And you're saying, well, he's still like a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would necessarily need to retire.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we know it's really not. I mean, obviously, he's not going to play for free. I mean, he's going to get market value, of course, probably over market value because of who he is and what he brings to the table. But if you're still able to do something like you mentioned, at a high level, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tom Brady. I mean, Brady played until he was like 43, 44 years old, but he was still doing it at a high level. So I don't blame those guys. I mean, depends on, I bet you want to find your second act.
Yeah.
As far as in life, I mean, the guy still enjoys it. He still got that competitive edge. And not only that, you see, and you're younger, but you still remember how tough it was for MJ, for Michael Jordan to scratch that competitive itch. Hence why he came back out, played for Washington, the rest of those things. But when you play at that high level, it'd be hard to say, okay, I'm just going to go play golf.
Yeah.
Well, to get that same type of competition, that same type of, competitive drive, that's tough to That's tough to compare and do something else like that, man.
I also wonder, like, if you're like the best in the world at something, how does that like translate to men? Like maybe he's not very good at spades or something, So like he just goes trying to play some other games.
We lost
pretty good
again.
at it. Yeah, like dude, you suck at this game.
Cornhole.
Yeah, you just can't hit it. Terrible partner.
I am spades. I am glad to see him picking up the game of golf, though. He seems like he's getting that itch. From his first video, he's definitely shown some improvement. And a guy like him with that type of drive, I can't see him just saying, yeah, I'm content just being mediocre. I could see him, even if he stays mediocre, it ain't gonna be because of lack of effort, and getting lessons and hitting, range, buckets of range balls. Because, it's something else can feed that competitive fire, and it's something you can do. I mean, Lord willing, you don't get injured or anything. You can play golf, for the rest of your life for the most part.
Do you think he could still do? There was a long time during his career, obviously with the size, athleticism, people thought, man, he'd make a great tight end. At 40 years old, would you still recommend maybe trying out for a team?
Unless he wants to get knocked the heck out, I would absolutely not recommend him to go play football. not in the NFL, not in the CFL. Maybe one of them like, and I'm not, diminishing lower ranked teams, but I'm saying something maybe like an arena league or something like that. But it's like, bro, those are men. That LaFlop ain't gonna work out there, buddy. I mean, LeBron. Here's the thing about LeBron, man. I don't know if LeBron would have that type of dog in him for the NFL, man. It's a different mindset. Where you figure somebody that big, he would have a target on his back too. It's like, oh, I'm about to lay this dude out.
Yeah.
You got maybe some guys that want to, kind of settle some bets with him that he may have lost a game or two for him, missed a J or so. So it's like, yeah, I'm about to lay him out. Yeah, I'm saying maybe 20 years ago when he was younger and could have adapted to that type of mindset. But as me and you both know, man, just obviously from observers, that's a different beast. Physical ability to have it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentally? Nah. And I think at 40 years old, as many miles he's got on that body, I don't know if DP came with the Washington Shuffle right there, the DC Shuffle outside the window. Version of it, yeah. So yeah, I'd be interested to see him do it. But his high school tape looked actually pretty good. The dude's definitely had the ability. Rubber Doug, good morning. He goes, good morning, fellas. Rubber Doug, good morning to you as well, bro. Buck, I want to talk about real fast. Speaking of basketball, before we change, how did you guys end up in the state games?
I would have rather you not ask.
AD, let's talk about what's on the agenda.
We exercised. We had fun. we didn't. I always say it was a 2-day tournament, and we did not make it to the second day. Put it that way.
So you guys were one and done.
Yeah,
day wise.
Yeah, wait, day was. Yeah.
How many games do you get in?
So you basically get you get like games to determine where they're going to seed you. I think you get 2 of them, and then they seed you, and then it's a single elimination tournament.
So you guys were done by dinner.
Yeah. Well, basically, yeah. So if you don't win, so you play the 2, and then if you don't win Saturday night, you don't move on to Sunday.
So you went to church Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, that's what. Hey, that the winning isn't special if you don't go through the losing, right? Yes.
That's right. The good thing, Bach, you're 30. What?
35.
Man, the fact that you're even able to get out there and just run up and down the court is a blessing in itself, man. Obviously, you'd like to get further, but man, 35 and still balling. Hey, it is what it is.
I did
man.
have an old guy moment where I was getting back on defense. I just fell down. There wasn't a reason for me to fall down. I just fell down.
The court got hold of you.
Yeah. Whoops. All right. Well,
my bad.
Yeah.
Well, bring it back to football. We got a very football-laden show for you today. There's a lot going on. Obviously, we are right now about 23 days away from kickoff before the Big Red Migration goes down to Arrowhead. Bach, are you going down to that?
Yeah, I am planning on it.
Are you?
Yeah, I've never been to Arrowhead.
So are you going as a fan or as media?
As a fan.
Taking a wife and kids or just with some buddies?
Yeah. Well, all together, yeah.
That's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good time. That game's in 23 days, as we all know. But keeping on the football a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit football now. 9:30, we're going to talk about the coaches poll that came out. Some very interesting rankings as far as that go. There's one team in there that we'll discuss, Bach, that I was like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll discuss that as well. 10 o'clock, we got a friend of the station, my neighbor, childhood friend John Squire is going to step in. About 10 o'clock, talk some more Husker sports as well. Dana Holgerson, what he has to say about that receivers room. And also, there's a particular guy that we've not heard a lot about, but definitely could make some noise this year. Heaven forbid if there's injuries, though. So we'll discuss that as well. 10:30, we got some NFL action because there are some guys right now. Of course, there's always drama in Dallas. You wouldn't expect Dallas to be Dallas, Pete Ferguson, if there wasn't drama there. But you know what? They're them boys, though, right, Buck? They're them boys who have not won a playoff game. Second round, in 20-something plus years?
Yeah.
But every year, they're America's team.
That's right.
Yeah.
As long as America's team can go 8-8 every year.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that to a Steelers fan. Sorry.
Watch your mouth there, buddy.
9-8, right? Never a losing season.
Eventually, you got to win a second. You eventually got to win a playoff game, though, man. Yes, never losing season, but man, come on, man. I'm tired of us barely getting on the bus with our foot in the door. You know,
well, I'm a Cardinals fan, so that bus sounds pretty nice.
You're like, bus? What bus?
Yeah, is there a bus?
And I ain't talking about Bettis either. Well, over to the east of us, folks, there's a gentleman, and I might even say if it's really silently putting in work. Matt Campbell over at Iowa State, Bach, has been getting it done. He just signed an 8-year extension through 2032. Becomes the longest commitment in school history. Because you think about all the guys that have come through Iowa State that put them. You think about McCarney. You think about obviously, Campbell that's there right now. There's a few others. Is it Dan Moeller? What am I thinking? Which one I'm forgetting about?
Dan McCarney.
McCarney,
yeah.
And there was another one too, though, that did some decent things, and they always bounce. Iowa State has always been kind of seen as that stepping stone, and for him to sign loyalty over lucrative, I think is a big thing. He did not chase the money, perhaps because Campbell, he gets a $1 million pay raise, folks. Now he's earning $5 million a year. Definitely still, he took less than the market value because as you remember, Bach and listeners as well, he interviewed for that Chicago Bears job. He interviewed for that Chicago Bears job. So, and here's one thing about it. He gets $1 million raise, but he redirected a lot of that money to his assistant coaches. So $1 million towards also the student athlete revenue sharing, 100,000 of his own performance bonuses to his own staff. Bach, he's doing things that we just don't see in college sports anymore. Now, we'll tell you this. Coach Osborne would do similar things with the shoe contracts with Adidas and Converse and with some of those bonuses. He would distribute that amongst his assistants. Dude, what does this say? If you're the I don't want to say it. If you're the brass at Iowa State and you're an Iowa State, I would say alumni or fan, How does this make you feel knowing that he took a lot less than market value? He's putting $1 million towards that athlete revenue sharing fund, and he's also going to distribute out of his own pocket $100K more towards his own coach's performance staff.
Well, I mean, I would say call him the best Iowa State coach of all time, but I think he's already kind of earned that. Last season, the 11 victories, that was the most in program history. Obviously, years ago, it was 2020 when they went to the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, so he's had some really big moments there, bounced up and down a little bit. Remember when the Nebraska job was coming open, he was a heavy name for it. But then they specifically struggled that year and went 4-8. And so he just kind of, was kind of bowing out from it. It's like, all right, well, maybe not at this time. But since then, he's rebounded. And it's interesting, because I like him there. I'm secretly somewhat of an Iowa State fan. I think it goes back to the Big 8, Big 12, type of stuff. So he kind of, we like to pick on our brother, but don't you pick on him, type of thing. So I kind of like Iowa State, even though we're not supposed to like anything in Iowa. But it's good to see that program succeed. But it's also kind of interesting to see that dynamic there, because I went to a game there a few years ago when they played Texas on Thursday night football, and just to hear kind of the conversations in the crowd, it wasn't like, hey, maybe this year we got the talent to beat Texas. It was just kind of like, well, hopefully Texas screws up enough, right? Because Iowa State's never going to be able to recruit with Texas. So it's just kind of a different mindset than maybe what we're used to here at Nebraska. And so, never won a national championship, all that stuff. But the real interesting thing is that they're struggling as far as financially. Yeah. And so him being willing to embrace that and sacrifice himself rather than go somewhere that's not, right? I mean, that kind of tells you all you need to know about him as far as a character guy and whether he, bleeds Cyclone red and yellow.
You know what? You think about living in Ames, Iowa. He's the winningest coaches of all time there. I think he sees the landscape of college sports right now, and college football in particular, knowing that he is extremely revered there in Ames, Iowa. Why would I go someplace else to where I got 2 to 3 years minimum? All right, 3 years minimum to turn a program around. Where here in Ames, they're going to build a freaking statue of me next to Jack Trice.
Yeah.
And not only that, it ain't like you're spending a lot of money in Ames, Iowa. The cost of living almost, and when you make that type of money, you're really not really concerned with cost of living. You know what I'm saying? He's not the average Joe. I mean, he makes plenty of money, but I think it says a lot about him. It's like, you know what? It's not necessarily about the next job. What I got here, I got a good thing going here. And you look at the history. Now, Jim Walton is the one who recruited me out of high school. He was there from 87 to 94. It wasn't like I was highly recruited by any stretch of imagination. Dan McCarney was there from 1995 to 2006. And then Gene Chizik, that was the one I forgot about. He was only there for 2 years. And we know all the things where he's going through right now. Paul Rhodes, that was the one I forgot about too. 2009 to 2015. And Paul Rhodes had a heck of a career there as far as that goes. And then Matt Campbell, 2016 to the present. And we know what he is doing right now. Let me open up to the text line. Let me ask you this. Do you have a soft spot for Iowa State, or do you look at them no different than you look at Iowa? Do you have a soft spot for Iowa State? Is Iowa State more likable to you than Iowa? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I have nothing against Iowa State whatsoever. Not a thing. I love their campus. I love the atmosphere that was there when I went there. They're just a different mentality. Iowa State is kind of like, how do I want to say it, man? Iowa State was kind of grungy. And what I mean by grungy in a good way, they know they had to get dirty and just had to fight. They had to battle like street fighters. Iowa's more like Grey Poupon. Pass the order. It was kind of like, why are you acting like that? You don't have any championships. Iowa State always felt like they had a chip on their shoulder, to where Iowa almost acted like they arrived already. I'm like, arrived where?
Yeah.
Now granted, it's taking nothing away from Kirk Ferentz and that team. Because here's the reality, folks. Love them or hate them, they're constantly relevant. Maybe not offensively. Offensively, maybe Casper the Ghost, but their special teams and their defense, they are sending dudes to the league every year.
Yeah.
Love them, hate them, dislike them, despise them. Kirk Ferentz has simply got it done. Now, here's what's the scary thing about them. If that new OC in a quarterback this year, Iowa could be a scary team. As much as I don't like them, you got to respect what they've done over the years. But bringing it back to Iowa State, is it easier for you to like Iowa State over Iowa, or you just don't like either one of them?
No, I think it's a lot easier to like Iowa State. And I think part of that again was just kind of their positioning in the Big 12. And I was going to ask you about it because I know you were, around for the big upset in '92. But
yeah, let's not talk about that. It's kind of like your corners for state games.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I mean, that was the reason why that was so shocking is because there was a clear in that bit it was Big 8, but there's kind of like a clear 7th or 8th program. Kansas State was down for quite a bit of time too.
Yeah,
and there was a clear number 1 or 2, right, with Nebraska and Oklahoma at the top, and Colorado kind of got into the mix there. But for the most part, that it was just kind of it wasn't year by year. Well, we're going to see where these teams go. The Big 12 of now is not the Big 8 of yesteryear. So they were always kind of if they did have good wins or big wins, it was kind of a surprise and kind of exciting for college football. I was surprised Jay Foreman. The one thing that I really loved about them was their uniforms. Jay Foreman thought their uniforms were ugly as heck. I liked them. Yeah.
Man, that looks like Ronald McDonald out there, man.
You didn't like them either, huh? I like those
looks
back
like
then.
Mustard and ketchup sprayed all over the place. Now, their black ones are dope.
Yeah.
Their black ones I like their black ones, but those traditional ones, it looks like you're working at the McDonald's house, man.
I like that little eye on right underneath the neckline, and the cyclone on the helmet.
Looks like they're wearing Happy Meal outfits.
You just didn't get into it. All right, fair enough.
I could not get with their outfits, man. I couldn't do it. Scaper says, good morning. He goes, you should clarify best Iowa State football coach. I think we know the best Iowa State coach in general was. Who do you think it was?
If he's talking football, I'm trying to
talking
figure out
basketball. You're probably thinking of Fred or something like that.
I think he might be trying to say point to Fred. Yeah,
point to Fred. But in football, I mean, Matt is the winningest one there.
Yeah, I think he's the best one. The best one I've seen in my lifetime.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah,
that he's got the best record that's been there, and everything that he's doing. Before I get to some of these texts, we'll read some on the other side too. But a little bit more about his bonus structure. Bonuses range from $250,000 up to $1.5 million for an undefeated season. He can personally allocate personal bonuses to his staff, which is a very rare clause, as we know. Think about this, Bach. What other coach that we know of is giving his bonus money to assistants? Most of them cats are like, no, this is me, dog. I'm the one. The buck stops with me, so it's going to stop with me.
Well, and maybe I can ask you a little bit more to clarify too. When Tom Osborne did that, obviously the money wasn't the same as it is now. When I hear that now, I'm thinking, why the assistants make a lot of money these days? Like I get why. Well, that's something that looks good upon his character and all that. But I don't know what they necessarily pay their offensive and defensive coordinator. But coordinators aren't worrying too much about cost of living either.
I'd be like this: you guys are good.
Yeah.
You have the same memberships that I do.
That's right.
I ain't talking about Netflix either. You're at Shadow Ridge, Champion.
That's right.
I can see for some of the coaches that may be, some of your lower GMs. I won't even say GMs, not GMs, of course. Some of your coaches, maybe they're position coaches and not coordinators. I could see some of those on the lower scale. But my coordinators, I think you guys are doing just good.
Yeah.
But in a situation, though, Bob, we have to keep in mind, too, Iowa State is facing some financial difficulties.
Yeah.
So I can understand that more in his case, and maybe like somebody compared that like a Georgia or even Nebraska as far as that goes, to where, you're pretty flush as far as cash goes. He's 3-time Big 12 player, the coach of the year, coach of the year, longest tenured Big 12 coach. Not named Mike Gundy. Obviously, he's the 14 returning starters. Think about that. He's got 14 returning starters coming back this year. Opens versus K-State in Dublin. I know you and the black shirt, Terrell, were talking about that yesterday. And you're both, and Terrell had some good points too, talking about, obviously Howard's gone as the quarterback. He obviously transferred to Ohio State this last year. Who you think in that game, man?
When we were talking about it, I was thinking, man, I don't really know who to pick there. And then I know we'll talk about the poll here in a second, but they came out as like number 20 and 22. Like everybody's going to be kind of thinking the same thing. They're kind of opening right in there. So it's going to be difficult to tell. I'd have to really dive into, what each of them have returning. But those, I'll tell you what, both those programs now between the two of them, I expect a good fight from them just about every game. And again, when I said that, for the longest time in the Big 8 days, those programs were just bottom feeders that would get blown out. And so to see that progression, of course, a lot of it, through Coach Snyder at Kansas State, it's been years and years, and now they've been a good program for a long time. But I personally just like to see them, both those programs. Again, maybe one-time rivals, if you will, but at least there's familiarity with them and where they are, and you see the ups and downs of their programs at time. I like to see them both out there and spotlighted, and the fact that it's called Farmageddon. I mean, who doesn't like Farmageddon in Ireland? It's a great way to start the season.
I'm pulling for Matt Campbell and Iowa State. I just always liked his moxie. He obviously talking to a few guys that know him personally, just say, dude, he's down to earth. He's a player's coach, but also demanding. So he's a player's coach, but he's also very demanding. I like what he's doing there at Iowa State. Like I said, that game to me is a toss-up. I have no idea because what is K-State's coach name again?
Coach Kleiman.
Coach Kleiman. Yeah. I mean, he's got Oklahoma's number.
Yeah.
He'd be whooping that tail on Oklahoma the past 6 years, man. So that game is going to be a great game. A few from the text line before we go to break. Cubsker says, my grandmother lived in Ames, Iowa when I was growing up. I got fond memories walking around the mall and the Iowa State campus, so I agree with Bach. It's hard not to root for Iowa State when they play. I agree with you, Cubsker. I got to read some of these because sometimes you guys will sneak some on me. He's Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Them being successful makes Iowa look less impressive. Go Clones. Become the king of that goofy state. Kip, what's up, my man? Derek in the car, ISU, I respect, not Iowa. Crowbait, what's up, brother? He goes, I miss Iowa State because it's nostalgia from the Big 12. Not Iowa, though. Iowa's still doty. Larry Eustacy, Jake Sorensen says.
Hey, that's a good basketball name. Bring out Marcus Pfizer and all that.
Yeah, Larry Eustacy's famous for a lot of different other reasons.
Yeah, his ending there, I don't think was great, but
he kind of crossed a few lines.
That's right.
Folks, we come back. We got the coaches top 25, and there is one in particular that makes me scratch my head. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I could be. We'll talk about it when we come back, folks. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 10th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice boneless New York strips for $8.99 each. Duroc whole bone-in pork butt $2.99 per pound. Colorado peaches $1.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30 racks $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Now back to the Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we're back live, 1040 O Street. It is Tuesday, and it's a terrific Tuesday. Weather is beautiful downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Come on down to the mill. Hot cup, cold cup. No cup. Just come and sit around, look at the birds. Sometimes we even have raccoons running down O Street down here, man.
I saw 4 of them the other night. I was working here on Sunday night, and 4 of them came out of the corner, went to that trash can, and left.
Yeah, I mean, they just be rolling down here, man. I'm telling you, it's a trip, man. So you can see all sorts of things down O Street, man. Folks, this segment is brought to you by Jack Russell, Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected representative since 1999. Can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Bach, the coaches poll came out yesterday. What's your initial thoughts on it? If there's just any initial thoughts, what's your initial thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's interesting because it's just loaded with you know these the power conference teams. I think we're kind of starting to see the transition. It seems like years ago at least there was a few non-power 4 teams that could kind of sneak in there and maybe be throughout more of it. There was one in this initial poll, and it was at 25, and it was Boise State. It has some questions without Ashton Jeanty returning. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously these conferences, the Big 12, Big 10, SEC expand, that more of the teams are going to get representation. Also, obviously the Big 10 is represented quite well. You see, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon,
6 teams,
near the top. Yeah, 6 teams all together. And then I'll be honest, my other one too is I tracked the others receiving votes. Nebraska down at 39. It's a little lower than I thought might be the case. So not that I don't necessarily think it's wrong. I think that that's probably a good place for Nebraska to start. But with all kind of the preseason hype and the year 3 under Matt Rule and Dana Holgorsen and all the reasons to believe in Nebraska this year, I thought maybe the national media would catch on. Maybe they will a little bit more with the AP poll, but in the coaches poll, I think Nebraska kind of in the 39th slot, if you will.
Do you feel, and this is weird because I'm heading literally to Austin, Texas this morning. I told you I had to leave out here after the 10:30 segment. I'll be catching a plane out of Lincoln. I have one of those burritos too if they get it ready on time. Those things are the bomb, man. You got to try
the
them.
Airport.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes I just want to go in there and just eat a burrito, but you can't get through security. But Rachel,
get airport food.
Yeah. This burrito, have you had it?
I have not had it.
Oh, Bach. This text line, let us know if you had one of those airport burritos at the Lincoln Airport. Dude, it is seriously one of the best breakfast burritos ever. We were talking to Rachel when she was in last week about it, and I guess they're going to do. Talking about doing something different to where you can go through the gate to sit with people or something like that. If I get that, I'm just going to go there and be working. Where you going, AD? Nowhere. Just here to eat a burrito. I'd go in there and be a greeter for one of them burritos, though, man. Them burritos are off the chains. But I'm heading to Austin, and it's going to be interesting because, Texas is Texas. And Bach, that's the other team I think me and you have talked about this as well. In fact, I know we have. I don't have any disdain for Texas like some Nebraska fans. I'm not going to say all, but some Nebraska fans have a very strong disdain for Texas. Maybe it's because what James Brown did to us here at Nebraska when we played them that night game. Maybe it's what they did to us, Mac Brown, in there when they threw another second phantomly on the clock when Sue dominated their entire team and their alumni and their band and their board of regents. But Texas to me still has championships. So if you got some hardware, and I ain't talking about conference, and I ain't talking about your division, when you have a natty, I respect that. Regardless, I respect that. But do you think this pressure is too big for Steve Sarkisian being rated number 1 preseason. And with as much as hoop and holla he's getting, Archie Manning ain't done a whole lot in the clutch yet.
Yeah.
As a Heisman Trophy candidate to start the season number 1, it's kind of like that dude on Instagram. The moment was too big. He peed down his leg. I didn't know what I was doing. Do you think this will be too big of a moment for Sarkisian and company?
I don't know if it's necessarily the pressure of being number 1 or anything. I mean, I think they're going to be right in the mix. And that's what I think when you look at the top 25, you asked me earlier, probably the right answer was, well, there's like 6 teams getting first place votes.
This is their first time in school history being ranked preseason number 1. I did not realize
that. Was surprising. That was surprising. I don't necessarily think Texas is going to finish the season number 1. I mean, again, I don't know if it's due to the pressure or anything like that, but when you talk about national championships and the respect that you have for them, Steve Sarkisian's not part of that. So I still would like to see him, and I think most coaches, it's crazy when you look at Texas as a program. A lot of, despite their success, a lot of people would say they're one of the most underwhelming programs compared to what they should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is underachieving maybe compared to what they should be. And now Steve's got him, Sarkisian's got him back at the top or near the top. And so Texas is back. And they've got a lot of talent coming back. They've also lost some pretty good talent, but that's Texas. Texas is going to have talent. Lost 2 games to Georgia last year. That's kind of concerning to me. And then, right out of the gate against Ohio State. So I don't see them finishing number 1, and I do hate Texas. So I might be a little biased.
I like how you added that at the end. And I do hate Texas.
Longhorns down all
Longhorns
day.
down all day.
That's
Did
right.
I just walk through the airport in Austin like this?
Oh, yeah.
Just walk through like that?
Yeah, come back with a
black eye.
eye.
I can't run because my back's jacked up. So I probably shouldn't do anything. Probably shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't do anything. You talk about their schedule, Bach. They obviously open up at 11 o'clock game against Ohio State, August 30th. Then they got somewhat of a breather, San Jose State that next week. But then they play UTEP, which is going to be a breather. So their next 3 games they should handle. Sam Houston, but then they play Florida October 4th. Then they play the Red River Shootout October 11th. Then they play a team that could be a feisty Kentucky on the 18th. Then they got a feisty Mississippi State on October 25th. Vandy, who did upset Alabama, but still, as a team you better be looking out for. But then here's the gauntlet. Georgia on November 15th. Arkansas, who is no slouches on the 22nd. And then their hated interstate rival, Texas A&M on the 28th. I don't see this team going undefeated.
No.
I just don't. I don't see it going undefeated. But I can say that for a lot of teams, though, as far as that goes. In this top 25 that we
Where
have.
do you land on, like Texas? You just ran through their schedule, the SEC gauntlet. I mean, the whole 8 games, 9 games, all that. Because it is, it is one thing, and it is, I do it. I sit back and say, they need to play 9 games like everybody else. Then sometimes you read off their schedule and you're like, maybe they
We're good.
Yeah, maybe they don't.
I can see Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner. I could see his point. Why don't you play those 9? I see both sides of it. The SEC's going, do you see those 8 games we do play?
Yeah.
However, I see Petitti's point too. At the end of the day, if you just win, it takes care of itself. But I do see both points of it because the SEC, like you said, they're just going to be knocking each other off. We've seen this movie every year. The SEC still obviously the SEC still runs deep. There's 9 of the top 25 teams are from the SEC, most of any conference. Georgia at 4, of course, Bama at 8, LSU at 9. And Bob, while we're on it real quick, do you think LSU is in some serious trouble this year if they don't win? Do you think he's in trouble?
I think he is. And I thought that was going to work well. He was the all-time winningest coach at Notre Dame.
His voice even changed.
Yeah, even it was
Brian Kelly
clearly trying to fit in there. But
he's in Boston, isn't he?
And then you got the Heisman winner out of there. But yeah, I mean they you got to expect more out of there. And the reason I say that is I've seen over the last 20 years 3 different head coaches win a national championships at LSU. You don't have to be the best coach of all time. Now, Nick Saban was, and he might be the best coach of all time. But you look at the kind of the other names that have won there, with Les Miles, and so I just don't. I don't think you have to be great to win at LSU because they've got the best stadium atmosphere. That's like the number 1 place people want to go if you want to, have a college football fan. If you just want to go see something. So I don't know. I think they do have to win. And I'll be honest. What the other thing I like to do with these preseason top 25 polls, there's always one or two teams in the top 10 that tank, that are awful.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's when you look through that and say, okay, well, which one of these teams is that going to be? And naturally, in the top 10, I go back to the back 9 and 10. I have questions of LSU and if Miami can hold up, but Miami's schedule is going to be more favorable than LSU. So, LSU might be the one that disappoints everybody this year.
Buck, I think if Brian Kelly does not reach the college football playoffs this year, I think there's going to be a unison of discontent and just frustration. I think I don't think he's any different than Lincoln Riley at USC, to be honest with you, man. Now, obviously, Brian Kelly's in the top 25, ranked out at number 9, and obviously USC is nowhere to be seen on this thing, and they shouldn't be as far as that goes. But even though they're ranked, I just think it's even more pressure on Brian Kelly being ranked as high as they are. And if they underwhelm this year, I just don't know how long he makes it down there, man. I just don't. Because those folks down there do not mess around. They do not mess around. You could even say they're somewhat the USC of the SEC in that their expectations, and rightfully so. They're very prideful, a very proud organization, a very prestigious organization when it comes to football. The history, the lineage, the number of Heismans and championships. I just don't see them saying, well, it was a tough year.
Well, it is funny, though, too, because we're talking about it. You might be thinking, well, they must have had a losing record at some point or 7-win season. He's won 10, 10, and 9. Not awful, but that's, to your point, that's not what LSU is asking of him.
Exactly, because you think about this. If you look at Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, the expectations are so high. When your predecessors have had that much success and you don't at least match it or equal or better, if it's below, it's kind of like, yeah, you're out of here. And it's just that the way it is in college sports now. Now, here's the one that and we'll get some of these texts in a bit too. Illinois at 12. Now, granted, they finished at 10-3. That was the one we talked off the air, Bach, and I shared with you listeners. Now, they got 16 returning starters from a 10-win season last year, including Luke Altmaier. Maybe, okay, Bach, help me out here. I think he's decent, but I don't think he's all that. I think he's decent, but here's the thing. He did three game-winning touchdown passes in the final minute of regulation overtime, and they have the resume of a top 10 team. You got 16 returner starters coming up. Regardless of what I think Luke Altmaier's flash or not, he gets it done. Got it done against us.
Yeah. They're an intriguing team, especially in the Big Ten, because they're kind of that one. Everything on paper says they should be returning a top 15 type of squad, like you said, where they were last year. But it's hard to buy into Illinois. And it's not just because it's like a feeling one way or the other. I've looked it up. Since 1990, they've had 5 seasons of 8 or more wins.
Goodness.
Every time after that, every year after that, they had they didn't have a winning record. There was once that they had a 6-6 season. Every other time they had a losing record. They had 10 wins last year. So can you kind of break that curse? That's a 35 years. The past 35 years, they cannot keep any momentum in the program, and now they have some. Can they keep it? That's why more than anything, that program's history might be weighing them down as far as my kind of expectation goes for them. On the flip side, though, I've said for a long time, I would have loved if Nebraska at one time hired Brett Bielema, and that people can hate that because he's got an Iowa tattoo and now he's coached at Wisconsin. So I get why there would be some frustration.
Boat race Nebraska a number of times.
I don't think he would necessarily be anybody's first pick, but to me, he's proven winner now in the Big Ten. He did it at Wisconsin. Now he's done it at Illinois and does it in a way that's Midwestern football. He's not out recruiting everybody. He's playing some strong defense, playing some, basing his system, everything around the run game. And then, kind of, especially if you can get an Altmaier in there that can kind of add to it. Now, they did lose their top targets in Zachary Franklin.
He was a bad
Pat
boy,
Bryant. So I think at wide receiver, they're going to need a little bit of some guys to step up. But otherwise, they look should be the part. It's just the ghost of Illinois' past that makes me wonder if they can get it done.
You know what? And you think about him, like I said, I'm kind of indifferent with him. Bielema to me is like a piece of lint. I have no emotion towards whatsoever. But when he took over Illinois, they were terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious. And what he's done, and is this year 4 for him?
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere around there.
I think it's year 4 or 5. I know he's been there longer than 3. But what he's done with that organization, Bach, and to the listeners as well, I mean, and they were bad. I mean, I remember times going down there to speak when his first year. It was like, man, he better be Jesus, because that's what it's going to take the water and the wine, what they got down there. And for him to do it is pretty impressive. And you look at their schedule. I'll look at the schedule while you're getting that. How many years he's been there?
So this will be his 5th year.
5th year. And he's done that. They open up against Western Illinois. Then they got Duke, Western Michigan, Indiana. Now, see, their schedule is going to be somewhat telling too. Indiana, USC, Purdue, Ohio State, at Washington, Rutgers. They're always, that's always an alley fight against Rutgers. Maryland is another coach that he's going to have to put in some work this year as well. Then at Wisconsin and versus Northwestern, who is always going to be pesky. So it's not an extremely difficult schedule, but it's one that'll test them. And I think it's somewhat in their favor a little bit, especially with a proven quarterback like Altmaier. There's not going to be any lights in any stadium they're going to go to that are going to be too bright for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Illinois. But to kind of give you a top thing as we round this part out, we may dive into it some more tomorrow a little bit. But, Bach, you look at this top 25. Of course, you got Texas number 1, Ohio State number 2, followed by Penn State. We got to talk about that later, man, because Sip and Jake and Coach Bush talked about that's intriguing. Now, obviously, Georgia at 4, Notre Dame at 5, 6 is Clemson, 7 is Oregon, 8 is Bama, 9 is Brian Kelly with the Southern accent at 9. And 10, you got Miami rounding up the top 10. And we'll dive into some more of these later this week because we got plenty of time to do it. Folks, we come back. We got some history. And at the top of the hour, we got the Huskers. We'll be back. It's The Drive.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 10th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice boneless New York strips for $8.99 each. Duroc whole bone-in pork butt, $2.99 per pound. Colorado peaches, $1.99 per pound. And Busch Light 30 racks, $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th and Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at StarterHeyman.com.
Starter Heyman Jewelers.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. It is The Drive, of course. We got my neighbor, John Squires, father of the legendary Abby Squires. Johnny, what's up, my man?
Hey, good to see you guys this morning. I've been wanting to come in here and have some coffee and chat it up.
I love it, Johnny. I love it. Johnny's going to join us at 10 o'clock segment after we get done with this history. We were talking about foxes in neighborhoods, and there is one yesterday afternoon. It was probably about I don't know, between 3 and 5. I was letting Louie out the front. I looked to my right, and this dude was just walking down the sidewalk like he was on the spot. And he looked at Louie. Louie looked at him, and Louie didn't bark. And just looked, he just pranced up, and his ears got high. Then the fox kind of skippered across the street and turned around and looked back. I was like, wow. And John, I seen another one. This is about 2 weeks ago. Me and Nick were on there talking about it. I was coming home from the show. It's probably 11:45, give or take. And it's just walking down the sidewalk. Now, this was a bigger one. Not quite as big as your dog's, but it wasn't that much smaller. I'm just thinking, these things are just out in the open walking around now, man.
Yeah, they're all over the place. That and fat raccoons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got some big raccoons. Look, they've been eating good.
Yeah.
They've been eating good. Some soul food. You know what I'm saying, Buck? I mean, some of these raccoons are in very good shape as far as that goes, as far as eating. But, yeah, man, and the noises, if text line, let us know if you hear them at night in your neighborhood. Because, John, after the break, I'm going to let you see this video. I was sitting on the deck, and this thing literally sounded like someone was being just knifed to death. It was so loud. I'm like, what is that? And then you see it come out of Adam and those guys' driveway, and it's just scampering along. I'm thinking, okay, it sounded like death. It's just a real high-pitched noise. And then you hear the dogs going crazy. So it's just, I'm glad you keep your dogs in because your dogs would tear them foxes up, man.
Yeah, then like I was just saying too, between my CPAP machine and my snoring, I don't hear a dang thing outside in the yard.
John and they're like Darth Vader.
Exactly right.
Well, in history today, folks, in 2000, I know this may sound hard to believe, Nebraska was preseason number 1. Bach, you were what, 3 years old? No, 13?
I was 10.
Nebraska was preseason number 1 in the coaches poll. And you think about that 1999 season, they ended up beating Tennessee down in the Fiesta Bowl, and they had lost that one game against Texas, and they came back. Now we know what happened, in 2000. We won't talk about that. But that's history too. But Nebraska at one time, yes, we were preseason number 1. Coach Solich was the head coach at that time. And you look back, and I was looking at this last night about the 1999 season, Nebraska. And this is something even Coach McBride has talked about. That was one of the best defenses ever at Nebraska. Yep. That 99 defense, Carlos Polk. You had, of course, Big Steve Warren in there. That team was stacked. The Brown brothers and everything else back there. That was a loaded team. You look at that schedule. The only game Nebraska lost in 99 was Texas 20-24 in Austin. That was the only game in 99.
Was Van Bosch still on that defensive line?
I think he
would have been.
Yeah, I think Vando.
Yeah, they were dominant. They were great.
Might have been Chris Kelsey. I mean, they had some
ballers.
Yeah,
man. They had some ballers, and that defense was no joke, man. That defense, they gave Manning fits, as we all know, in that game. That was Manning. Yeah, it was Manning. No, was that Manning?
Not 99.
Not 99. That would have been
T. Martin.
T. Martin.
Yeah.
T. Martin. Exactly. Would have been T. Martin that year. But they ended up beating Texas later on in that season, 22-6. They're in the Big 12 championship game. But yeah, Nebraska was preseason number 1 going into 2000. So 25 years ago, quarter of a century. Hopefully we can change things around this year, which we will talk about that as well. I'm not talking preseason number 1, just be who you're supposed to be as far as that goes, Bob.
Well, boy, how would it? I mean, that's hard to explain to somebody that hadn't lived through it. And so I'm glad you might make fun of me for being 10 years old at the time. But that's what I grew up with. Was Nebraska was preseason number 1, number 5, something like that. So the expectations every year was that.
It was
not lose more than one game. And, you're always in the championship hunt. That was wow. What a time to be alive.
Eric says, "Hold the golden days, AD." Absolutely. Folks, when we come back, we got a lot of Husker football to discuss. There's some interesting things going on because we right now, folks, are T-minus 23 days away from kickoff. It's The Drive. We got Johnny Squire with us. We got my man Bach holding down the 1s and 2s while Nick is on his way to Old Canada. We'll see what happens. We'll be right back.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, I know this is to the chagrin of our producers, but you got to hear this. It is the sound of a fox. And it is just, Bach, have you ever heard it before, man, like that?
not before in the last couple of weeks. That they've been doing that in my neighborhood too. They've been making their calls.
Well, okay, text line, let us know. Why do they make that sound like that? I mean, listen to this real quick. It's going to be a little tougher, but just check this out. Oh, Probably help if I put the volume on. Dang it. Here it comes. Here it comes, Buck. I promise I got it. That was a 357, so not that one right there. Here it goes.
There you go.
Why would you? I mean, what noise is that?
Good grief! It sounds like you're in the rainforest.
That's the first time I heard it. I ran outside. I was like, "Is somebody getting attacked? What's happening?"
Dude, it is insane. Unknown texter 1968 says, I opened my door and look around. I guess it was a mama fox trying to get her kid's attention or something. He goes, not sure. Bro, it is bad. It is bad. And you know what? And unknown texter, I appreciate you. I just heard Eddie ask about Fox neighborhoods a couple years ago when I lived on L Street. I heard them often. Just like Eddie said, I was legit scared, worried a neighbor woman was dying or being attacked, something. Scary noises for the middle of the night. Unknown texter, you are spot on, man. Wild Bill says they're trying to find a mate. Big B, good morning to you. Goes, we have 2 fox in our neighborhood and they are eating well somewhere. And I have heard that they're eating well somewhere, man. They gotta be.
That's scary. Hey, if you see me wearing around a fox hat, I got it at the store.
John is a hunter. In case you missed it, folks, here it is again. What? I mean, come on. I'm on my deck. I folded up my laptop. Time to go. Time to go. Folks, it is go time for Nebraska football as well. It is 23 days until kickoff. Gentlemen, there is a name that, with all the quarterbacks that we have right now, obviously Jalen Gramstead, obviously Dylan Raiola, that's where the main attention is. He's your quarterback. But you guys, there's a young man that not saying we forget about, just haven't mentioned as much because of where he is, TJ Lateef. Freshman quarterback. In fact, he joined, obviously, just to kind of refresh your memory, he joined bowl practices back in December. And Saturday, a lot of people got a good look at TJ. And the word is that, you know what, he may not be far behind for that third spot behind Jalen Gramstead. What is that for a guy that young? Because then we hear about Trey. Obviously, Trey Taylor, the quarterback we just recruited out of Illinois, who's got 2 years left. We hear about all these other guys, but TJ Lateef out of California, 4-star quarterback, has just silently gone about his business. He's been here since December. He's got a spring under his belt. He's got a winter conditioning on his belt. Now he's in fall camp. Let me ask you this, Bach. I'll start with you first. How much does that go into him getting those reps this early in his career?
Well, it's impressive, and it's somewhat of an open job, right? Is the at least to get into that, like you said, that second quarterback spot behind Jalen Gramstead. It's good news, but it can be interesting news. I'll put it that way, because obviously, if you are moving up behind a guy that might be here in Dylan Raiola for a few more years, you mentioned it. They've got some impressive recruits coming in. We'll see, but like young guys like that, it's impressive, and hopefully, like you said, hopefully we don't see too much of him on the field this year, because that might be some injury related stuff if it did happen. But hopefully he progresses well, and for Husker fans is willing to stick it out. But you look at quarterbacks and kind of top recruited quarterbacks like him, they usually want to find a landing spot, where they can play. And that's but he committed here knowing Dylan was in place. So apparently maybe that was part of the whole pitch was, kind of slowly kind of integrate into the college quarterback.
John, me and you have watched this conference for many years. Even when we were in the Big 12 and the Big 8, the Big 10 has always been that physical, rough and tumble ball. Now, heaven forbid something happens to one of our top 2 guys. How important, and your college, your high school coaching days, you did it for a number of years. A football season is long. It's physical, and things happen. You look at our running back room 2 years ago, we had guys going, not last year as far as that goes, going down left and right. How important is it to have a guy like TJ Lateef and also Jalen Gramstead, who was successful in his own right at his previous school over in Iowa, I believe is where he was at up there. Threw for a lot of numbers. a great grasp on the system. I think he wants to get into coaching when he's done, as far as it goes. Hence why he stayed another year as well. How important it is to have depth, particularly to QB in the Big Ten or any conference as far as
Yeah,
that goes.
I think it's probably any conference. It's any program. I think if you ideally, if you're a coach, you want to have a guy that is ready to step in when they're ready, and just take the program to the next level and put their spin on it. And so I think when Coach Rule talks about, I mean, we hear him talk a lot about just the progression of the building of the program, you know, that young depth coming up at all positions, but in quarterback for sure. That's the next step of becoming a great program, where you have the next guy,
that depth,
whoever it is. And, you know, going back to TJ a little bit, I've never seen the young man play other than on some highlight clips, but I do know this, on the softball team, Sammy Bland, our third baseman, she is from California, and her brother is a top defensive back down there right now. They're from the same high school. He played with him. So I was asking him when we were down at Super Regionals, he was there watching his sister. And
Orange Lutheran.
I said, how good is this guy? And he said, he's a baller. So, I mean, he was the best player in the area. So that comes from one of his teammates.
You love to hear it. You love to hear it. Bach, what do we got as far as clips? As far as I know, some of these would have been from Saturday, but do we have any with Dana Holgorsen on there, which I want to dive into next? Dana Holgorsen, as Bach gets that, you know, John, you know Coach Brown well as well. And Coach Brown, the way that he demanded receivers to go full out every single play. It wasn't a suggestion. It was the standard. Whether you were blocking, whether you were running a route, and routes had to be precise. If it was a 10-yard out, it better not be 9.5. It better not be 10.5. It better be 10 on the nose. If the ball was high, Coach Brown would say, climb the stairs. You're going to get hit anyway, so you might as well catch the ball. That was one thing that Holgorsen came in last year right away, 4 games left, and he mentioned no words at saying the effort is going to improve. Yep. That was one thing I noticed right away. Bach, what do we got with Dana on there? Because we mentioned some of these guys.
Yeah, we got some plenty of clips from him. This was from last Thursday. But here's his thoughts on the wide receiver depth, as you were mentioning that position.
Better. We know Ja'Cory can run, but sometimes he didn't play fast. Okay, he's playing faster. Okay, so that's encouraging. All the other guys we're putting them in positions to see what that looks like. I mean, do we have a bunch of 4-2 guys out there? No, we don't. But we have good football players that have shown the ability to get behind people. I think that will happen. Those will come. To me, I'm not obsessing over, just deep ball after deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. I'm not obsessed over that. Those will happen in the right situations, and I'm very confident that we have guys that are going to be able to go get it.
Bach, when you hear him mention that, in just the praise with Ja'Cory, but doesn't play fast at all times. He goes, but he's learning that. Does that encourage you for someone who's just going to call it like it is? Enough with the platitudes. I mean, Bach, you're not old school, but you're kind of cusper. You're kind of a cusper. Me and John are old school. Just tell it like it is.
Yeah,
I like that. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if you expected to have a bunch of guys that can run a 4-2. That'd be quite a wide receiver unit you have. Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that, and that's what he did. Like you said, he kind of came in last year specifically, highlighted the wide receiver unit and lacking in some areas of whether it was breaking off man coverage or blocking downfield. And so he called that position unit out, and now to see how they reacted. Obviously, they reacted on the transfer portal. They went and got some guys there. But you liked, especially here in my mind, the development of Ja'Cory Barney. Clearly, they saw something big in him, and they expected him to be kind of that big play threat for him. They got him the ball 50 plus times last year, and so you expect him to be a big part of the offense again this season. And so last year, and for a lot of guys, when you come in as a freshman, you are just using your athleticism. You might not know what you're necessarily doing on every play or every detail about every route, but the more that he can develop, the more of a weapon he can be. And for a guy again that they might be adding a few weapons out there. I don't know if he'll get quite to 50, but if you're going to give him that many touches, if he can be a little bit more refined. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I think he might have as much upside as anybody on the team.
What's your thoughts, Johnny?
Well, yeah, I love it. To me, the secret sauce is, and I'm probably more encouraged in what I'm hearing, what's going down there this year than in quite some time. And it's the being physical.
Yeah.
It's no longer, it just appears, it appears like John Butler, the D coordinator, talked about it. Matt Rule's been talking about it, how you can't be a physical team and just practice, hands off all the time. I heard him saying that. Coach Eckler, I guarantee you that man has his chili hot all the time, and his players will play that way. So I think and going back to Barney, what's going to make them even more tough is that if our receivers on offense can play physical and yet still be able to run and separate like that, then you're putting stress on a defense, because now you don't just have to worry about coverage. Now you got to worry about coverage and coming up and getting your teeth knocked in. And so
I love it.
That is just a difference in I think where we are program wise, and I think we have enough depth to be able to make that happen. And like I said, I'm buying stock in Coach Butler. I think it's a priority to be the most physical team. He said it. Coach Raiola has those guys, I think, getting better and more physical. And so it's just going to make us tougher to beat, especially in those key moments.
On Ja'Cory Barney last year, of course, 13 games, tied the freshman record, 55 passes. He caught 447 yards, tied the receptions for the freshman record, rushed 10 times for $130, 14 kickoffs for 285. And I thought it was something that he said. He goes, my goal is to lead the nation. Then you had Raiola saying, national championship. You have Rocco Spindler saying the most physical, one of the best lines I've been around. You're hearing a lot of now. Some people were saying, okay, these are a lot of bombastic comments coming from a team that snuck into a bowl game last year, as far as I go to New York, and like you said yesterday, played on a baseball diamond. However, they did play in a bowl game for the first time in many years. You have guys who are speaking confidently. Now us talking heads, we can say, well, they're speaking over their, they're getting over their skis, whatever. I'd rather have someone a little over their skis and don't even have their skis on. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that aspect of it. But John, you mentioned that physicality part. And for years, Nebraska was known as the most physical team in college football. For years. Coach Brown would constantly be fielding calls and doing clinics and people talking to him. How do you get the receivers to be so physical? Because he would always tell us, punish the perimeter. Punish the perimeter. And I've shared this story before when we played against Colorado. The game was well out of hand, hence why I was in the game, John. Deion Figures, the cornerback that played at Colorado, big dude. I'm blocking this dude, and he looked at me, he goes, bro, I can't say exactly what he said. Why are you still hitting me? Do you see the score? I said, that's why the score is the way it is. He goes, all right, dog, I feel you, dog. But because that was the way we were taught. That was the way we were trained. It was not a suggestion. It was a standard to be physical. Now, here's one aspect about Saturday's scrimmage that I enjoyed. And you were there, Bob.
I was not.
You weren't there?
Yeah.
There was a skirmish. I like that. I like a fight.
Yeah.
I like when somebody gets pissed off because you're tired of blocking this guy over and over again, or he's got under your skin, you got under your skin. John, there were fights dang near every day when we practice because guys were physical. Now, granted, you were punished for it because if you do that in the game, it's going to cost you. But rarely did you ever see us cross that line in the game because we were hardly penalized. Now, there's some things that happen in practice, but I like to see the effort, like you mentioned, where they got their ears back. They're punishing each other because they understand you play like you practice. You don't just flip some switch on all of a sudden. You're a physical football team.
It's 100%. You just nailed it. Being physical is not a natural behavior. It's a learned behavior, and you got to practice that way. And better than anybody, all the guys from that era would say, man, those Tuesday practices were killers. And so it's just a condition. It's a conditioning of what the game should be like. And to spin off on a comment you made earlier, I think this is the first time that our talent and our work ethic and what we're saying match. Like our goals, if you don't have the talent, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And if you don't have the work ethic, it doesn't matter. But now I think we're kind of at the point, we're right on the cusp where, our goals and our talent and the way we're working, they're all coming into alignment. I just think we're right there. I can't wait to watch it, and I just wish them so much success. So.
Old Death, unknown texter 3450 says, no more Pac-12 practices. Hey, I will tell you this. I forget which spring game it was where I literally almost wanted to throw up in my mouth. It was basically touch football out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't even have the doggone game if this is what it's going to be. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. I love the physicality coming back, man, and seeing that. Because, John, like you said, you can't act tough on game day, but you haven't done it during the week, Bach. You just couldn't. And as John mentioned, man, it was physical every day. There were times where it was just helmets only. Guys had to say, hey, whoa, bro, you got to taper that down a bit. We ain't trying to get anybody hurt out here. But I'm glad to see, like I said, I'm not obviously encouraging fighting, but I do love the intensity where guys are really getting after each other. We got another one with Dana on there.
Yeah, he's going to continue talking about the wide receivers here. Second string wide receivers are pushing the first string guys.
No, just got more guys. More guys, and the depth is what I'm encouraged about. Just especially at the wideout position, adding 4 new guys. The young guys look good. I don't want to get into the names and everything. We know Dane's going to start and be good. We know Jacory's good. He's going to start and be good. And Isaiah showed up out there today, Hunter, but he's got guys behind him that are pushing him. Quinn Clark's pushing him, and Keelan Smith's pushing him. Jeremiah Jones looks really good. Cortez Mills has made a good bit of plays. So we got depth at wideout, which will make those guys better.
That depth.
I don't want to say any names, but here's a bunch of names.
He read down the entire wire. Like, check.
I love it. Here's another thing I hear sometimes too is, well, if we want to be physical, we need to run the option. Well, okay, that was a physical offense, but I believe, and I think the coaches would say, no, you can. I don't care what offense you run. You can be a physical.
You're dang right.
You can do it in a physical way, and I just think, I just think that's the secret sauce that we've talked about wanting to be in the last
in word
5
only.
years, and now we actually can do it.
You look at Ohio State. Obviously, won the national championship. Jeremiah Smith and those boys are physical. Those boys are big.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Oregon's wide receivers. Now, I know it's Pac-12, former Pac-12, etc. But still, it ain't all finesse. There's fight with a lot of those guys too. You look at Georgia over the years, Alabama, of course, because it was demanded.
Who's winning Super Bowls right now? Who's winning Super Bowls? It's the team that can just knock your teeth in.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just play physical ball. And I tell you what, people can say whatever they. I mean, you look at the physicality. You bring it to the pros real fast. Philadelphia, them boys will hit you.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't the tush push for no reason. They gonna line up and just beat you up, like it or not. That's the way it's gonna be. And you bring it back to Nebraska, John, and I think that's been a big frustration for a lot of Nebraska fans. We heard physicality, but we didn't see it. At least not consistently as far as that goes. We heard about it. We're going to be the most physical team. Okay, well, let me see. And that's why you guys, and I've said this, Bach, a number of times. John, I've said this a number of times. In 23 days, that game is intriguing to me. First of all, Satterfield, not our Satterfield, the Satterfield at there at Cincinnati, that team is playing most likely for that man's job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Those boys are not going to come down there, in my opinion, to lay an egg. And I think you and Terrell were talking about it yesterday. This game is intriguing to me. I don't see Nebraska. I would love to see it, but I have to see it first. So all of the platitudes and things of that nature, physicality, that's good. Go to Arrowhead and show it. Go show it.
Yeah.
Because you're playing in a foreign stadium. I don't care. It's a close stadium. It wouldn't matter to me, John, if they were playing in Omaha. It's still not Memorial Stadium. And many of these guys have never played in a real game with each other. Many of these guys haven't. So all the gelling that comes together, all the pomp and pious and circumstance, Nebraska has a great opportunity to show if what they say they are, it's kind of like that old coach. We are who they thought they were. Is Nebraska who they're saying they are? To your point, I think they have the talent. Do they have the key thing for me is the discipline, because you can be physical too, but if you're not disciplined, you're like a fire that gets out of a fireplace. It's chaos. So if they're not disciplined, it doesn't matter how physical they are. So if I see a disciplined Nebraska team that's not getting late hits, that's not jumping off sides, that's not fielding balls on special teams where they shouldn't be, that's the part that's going to be the most interesting for me with this game coming up in Arrowhead, man. Are they a disciplined football team? You can be talented, you can be physical, but if you're not disciplined, think about this. Miami, when we beat them in 94, most likely had more talent than we did. Just as physical, if not more, but they didn't have discipline. They lacked discipline. So with this team, with all those pieces they have in place, all those are great. I want to see how they react in tense moments, because we've seen them too many times. Heck, we even got a record of it. They're the best one-loss team in America. I'm so sick of hearing that, man. I mean, who wants that badge of honor? That's not a badge of honor. That just shows, if anything, that just screams your lack of discipline when you lose that many games by one score or less.
When you talk about that physicality too, that's I think I think that's at the base of what Nebraska needs to do as a program, regardless of who the coach is. And that's been evident over the years, right? I mean, Mike Riley and Scott Frost, that's not necessarily, hey, we're going to go hire a physical brand of football. And it didn't turn out well at Nebraska. Meanwhile, you look at the teams that win in the Midwest when they do. We talked about Kansas State and Iowa State.
Yep.
They're going to play physical football. Illinois. Iowa for years. Minnesota now. Wisconsin for years. Now look at them get away from physical football a little bit. What happens? They start to struggle. So, I think that's got to happen in the Midwest. Nebraska was the blueprint from that, and then somehow has kind of fallen away from it at times. And hopefully, as we're saying, hopefully Matt Rhule is kind of bring that back to the table.
A guy, one of our texters mentioned that too. It was Old Dad 34, and I think you're spot on. I think DeKill Shorts Jr. is the next factor. Our new receivers coach from Kentucky. When you have a coach, I'm not talking about anybody from our last administration who was that coach. This is our coach now. You have a major upgrade as a wide receiver coach who has coached the position, who played the position, who was with Holgorsen at various other stops, who's got some experience, who's got some scars, if you would. And the rebuild that Nebraska is requiring, you need someone with some scars on them.
Yep, those wide receivers, they got to understand. Even on a good day, 6-7 catches is a really good day, right? Well, all those other plays there in the game, I want to see him just undress some of those DBs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, we're going to go to break real quick. One more segment with me, then John and Bach are going to take you out as I head to L&K and have a breakfast burrito before I take off. We'll be right back, folks. It's The Drive.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
In Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Copple's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Copple since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Time flies when you're having fun and listening to Fox noises in your neighborhood. Hey, that still tripped me out how bad that sounds, man.
Yeah.
You see my dog? You see Louie on the his ears was like,
up.
what is that? Yeah. One of the texters here, mentioned that could be a bobcat. I sure as heck hope not. It's not a bobcat. You don't think we got any bobcats in the neighborhood, John? Not this far. You don't think?
Not for long if I see one.
John's got trained dogs and some licensed arsenal. And so there's some things that could happen.
Yeah, I've had a fun summer. I have a black lab that's into the hunt testing stuff. He's actually going for his last master pass and his master hunt title in Minnesota here in a couple weeks. So
he about took my finger off on Friday, man.
He knows how to eat.
When I was throwing the ball to John's dog, Katie's dog, and little Louie, and he brought the ball back, and I took it from his mouth, and I mean, them teeth was right in here. I'm like, hey, bro, we the only brothers in the neighborhood. Be nice, man. Come on, dog.
That's right. So yeah, any of you listeners out there that have some good duck hunting spots, I'll provide the dog.
Yes.
Just give me a call. I'm a sure thing.
And that dude is obedient. Like
crazy. He's a great
dog. He won't move.
He's outstanding.
What do you say? Well, you say not. It's not stay. It's what do you say?
Oh well.
There's a few different commands you got for him.
You heal him, and then he's really not from my left side. He's not to leave until I give him a Hank command.
And dude, Hank, I don't care if there's dogs running by. I don't care if there's a prime steak T-bone in front of him. When he says heel, Hank will not move from his left side. I want the training that take.
It's taken about 10 months of pretty severe, pretty big time training.
Because he will not leave your side.
Yeah, no, he won't.
Hank, he will just look at you. He will not move.
Yeah.
I mean, there's chaos going around him. People running around. Hank will not leave.
Well, you think about those of you who do some waterfowl hunting and you're in a duck blind. That is chaos. You got the decoys, you got the calling, you got shotguns going off, and the last thing you want is a dog running around and hooting and hollering.
Right.
It's not even safe. So,
right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it's got to be.
Definitely not a safe situation. Derek in the car. Yes, Hogo's will have juice, but what about our defense? Can it progress early? We're going to talk about that this week too, Bach. I know tomorrow we'll dive into that bottom half of the top 25 because I still want to dig in that Brian Kelly thing a little bit, man. Not his accent, but the other stuff, in that bottom 25. And also tomorrow, folks, we're going to dig into NFL guys that are on, waivers. Of course, one of our former guys, Isaiah Neor, he's on. The 49ers waived him. The 49ers brought in a ton of veteran receivers as well. But at 6'4", ran a 4.4, I believe, there at the NFL Combine. I think he probably gets on someplace, even just on a practice squad. Just have a big body like that around. I still think he finds a home someplace just from his sheer size, athletic ability. But he's raw, as far as NFL talent goes. So it's not like he was at a school that he was catching the ball, 70 times a year, 60 times a year, something like that. So we'll discuss that tomorrow as well. Folks, what I got for you as far as the AD attitude adjustment today, and I seen this morning, and it just resonated with me quite a bit. And it says right here, realest thing ever read. People pray for the cake, then God gives them the butter, the eggs, the oil, the icing, a pan in the oven, and they get frustrated and leave the kitchen. Let that sink in. Sometimes you have everything right in front of you, but how bad do you want it? And I think about that, John, that we've all been given these gifts, talents, abilities, whatever it may be. And sometimes it's just right in front of us. Just go and get it done. You bring it back to Nebraska football. They got a pretty nice kitchen, Bach.
Oh, yeah.
They got a pretty nice kitchen, Johnny. And they got some pretty nice ingredients on both sides. It's time to cook. It's time to cook. So you have all these ingredients. What are you going to do with it? The bottom line is this. Are you going to maximize the gifts and talents that you've been given?
That's right.
That's the key thing right there. I'm going to say this before we tap out the break, and then John and Bach will take you on. Probably talk some more Husker stuff as they wrap the show up. John's got a few shout outs. He got one or two. I always like to say this publicly. When you get a chance, not often me and John get to do this in public, but I'm going to tell you something. I probably would not literally be alive without John Squires. The time he has been with me in the darkest times in my life. And John knows how I did not deal with grief in a great way and tried to numb it, tried to pacify it. Literally, if it wasn't for John, one of those many people, I would not be alive today. And we go back since 1989 when you were freshman at Color, and I was in 7th grade.
We were putty cats, baby.
We were just little putty cats.
Color Cougars.
Color Cougars. But John has loved me, not judged me, choked me when he needed to choke me and say, AD, get it together. You're better than this. And so, John, man, I love
Goes
you.
both ways, bro.
I appreciate you more than you know, man.
Yep,
Thank you so
same.
much, big dog.
Goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I appreciate you, man. Our families are so tight. And that's why it's so much, I would beam so much joy watching his girls excel in their spaces and seeing, Katie excel in her career and Abby, of course, on the diamond. But I've seen that since she was a kid in the backyard. I'd be looking out the window of the kitchen and she'd be out there hitting into that mat.
Yeah.
She'd be hitting into that, hitting into that net you had back there. She'd be coming home from DBAD just practicing. And it wasn't John saying, hey, we got to practice. It was saying, hey, Dad, we got to go to practice. That's the beauty of it. So, Johnny, love you. Appreciate you, folks. I will be in tomorrow, but I will be from Austin, Texas. If I'm alive, as long as I don't walk to the airport and say down horns or anything like that. I think I'll be all right, Bach. Folks, that was 80 Attitude Adjustment. Bach and my man, Johnny Squad, will take you home on this last segment. And we're going to talk more Husker sports tomorrow because I know there's pressers today as well. So we'll have plenty of footage for you tomorrow as well. Folks, we'll be back to the last segment. It's The Drive. We got Bach holding it down and Squires in the house as well. We'll be right back.
Hog Wild's giant sub-baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house-smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals.
Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is not AD, it is not Nick, it is Buck and John Squire in for the final segment here as we get ready, I should say, set the table for DP to come in for one-on-one. But we do have a few minutes of The Drive still to go. And of course, I know you wanted to get one shout out here. It is wedding season, and you got to get these weddings quickly. Fall is around the corner. You can't take up a Husker football Saturday.
That's
so
right.
August specifically, I know there's a few weddings going on that I need to get to, but you were mentioning one that you are a part of.
Truly a Husker weekend. We were blessed to be able to be at Jordy Ball and Trey Fromm's wedding. Now Mr. and Mrs. Ball, or Mr. and Mrs. Fromm, and I'll tell you what, it was so good to see them, and all the whole team was there, and all the whole coaching staff. And Bach, I'll tell you one thing that's been kind of weird. It's like, with Abby's career, it becomes your friend group, the parents, and you just love those girls on the team like your own. And it goes, and all of a sudden it ends with the last out, and it's over. And it's not for sissies. It's kind of been a hard transition, and I think Abby's ready for it, and we are too. But at the same time, they're just, that group of kids is such a wonderful group of young ladies and talented, and but to see them get married this weekend was really fun, and everything you hear and read about Jordy and Trey is the truth. They're the real deal. They're great young family.
Yeah, that's obviously exciting news. Congrats to the new couple there. As you know, you can talk about. I know Jordy's still playing, but kind of transitioning into that, the next step of your life. That's a big step to take. So congrats to them. But yeah, I mean, I hear that often. We obviously talk to a lot of guys or former athletes that kind of stop in the studio, and that's when you play at this level. You put so much of everything into it. Like you said, it's kind of your whole life and your whole schedule and maybe kind of priority number one. And then you have to kind of shift that from beyond. But maybe it will be, and hopefully it can be a little bit nicer to kind of cheer from the sidelines. But I know it's going to be like, man, I feel like I can get in there and help maybe.
A lot less stressful, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And, I would say go ahead and encourage everybody to buy their softball season tickets, because this team, we were talking off air, reminds me a little bit of the 1993 football season that they missed the kick in the national championship, and they're right there with a lot of good players coming back. And this team's going to be loaded next year, and I really think they're just going to break the door down, and I think they can play for the whole ball of wax.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. They were right there, like you said, knocking on the door. So maybe that unfinished business.
That's right.
Maybe we'll see start some of those posters hanging up around the
I love it.
facility.
I love it. And I love the way I think the football team's going to set the tempo for the whole season. I think the football and volleyball and rolling into men's and women's basketball, and it's a momentum with athletics. And I do think the success of everybody raises all the boats. And I can't wait for this school year to get rolling.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Matt Rule didn't shy away from that at Big Ten Media Days when he was asked about it. It was kind of pointing out all the luxuries they have at Nebraska, and was saying, that's why you're seeing all these programs step up and win and compete. And I thought that was intriguing, because not that it's maybe not a thought that many people would have, but for the coach to actually say it, it's kind of like, okay, so now football's next. Football's got to be the one that takes that step forward, and everybody's kind of looking forward to that year 3 under Matt Rule. I could tell you're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're getting excited. Yep. You're getting the belief going. Is there any reason for concern for you kind of coming into the year?
I mean, a season ebbs and flows, and I think it takes a little bit of good fortune. But it appears to me, and I'm not an insider, but it appears to me like they're checking all the boxes and doing all the right things. And I wish them well, and I just want those players to understand that this time in their lives ends so quickly, and to just don't leave anything undone each day. Just attack each day like they need to, and it appears they're doing that. And I think this is the year we're going to break through.
Yeah, the countdown is on, and of course, like you said, it's not just for Husker football season, but all the sports to follow. It is going to be a good year, and like you said, maybe kind of the tone setter if Nebraska football can get it done. Once again, thanks to John Squire for stopping in and doing an hour radio with us here on The Drive.
A lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, that'll wrap it up for The Drive one-on-one with DP coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket. Don't go anywhere.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B